Here we go. All right. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, hello. Let's see here. Let me know if you can hear me. And let's see here. All right. Great. Folks are coming in. Okay, awesome. Nice and clear. Wonderful. Good to hear that. All right, perfect. So let's see here. So hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're tuning in from. Let's see. We have Florida in the house. Hello.
Hello.
We have New Jersey. Hello, neighbor. Let's see here. UK, wonderful. Hello, hello. Okay. So let me quickly share my screen. Here. Oh, hello, Denver. All right. So just real quick, hold on, let me move my video up here. Can never see the tools when here we go. Haha, all right. So welcome again, everyone. This is a houseplant class offered by the Urban Garden Learning Series. Thank you so much for tuning in. And our learning series include things like classes and Q&As, plant clinics, and like today, an open forum where anything goes. You can ask questions. We can address, your plant concerns. If you want to share some of your collection, if you have some care tips, any fun things to share, let me know. You can put them into the chat if you would prefer I would read them aloud. Or if you want to throw in the chat, hey, can I have, 10 minutes of time or more? Let me know. Let me know. We can make it happen. No worries. So again, welcome everyone. If you're popping in for the first time and you do hear some background sounds, we do have some birds here. So if you do hear opera or singing or laughing, Julia's been laughing a lot this morning. That's what you're hearing. Also, any cooing is Indigo, our dove. He's been quite quiet this morning, but he tends to serenade us when we're in session. So today, again, open forum. And next week, I'm going to be tuning in from El Salvador. So what I'm thinking about doing is just doing a kind of Q&A style thing where folks can, and I can kind of show you around the property. So we're supposed to have an area there, and it's supposed to be near a body of water. So I think there's going to be some really gorgeous tropical plants there. So I'll be able to, that's the hope. They have Wi-Fi from what I'm being told. So at the place where we'll be staying. So I should be able then to tune in from there and give you guys a little tropical plant tour. We can talk about some of these tropical species as houseplants. And again, this is a free class. I'm not going to be monetizing this class at all, but if you would like to share something, give a tip, anything like that, it's always more than welcome. But you are under no obligation, of course. And if you would like to follow up and send any questions, you can reach out at info@urbangarden.eco. If you prefer Instagram, if that's your platform of choice, you can find us there at urbangarden.eco, or you can also check out other class offerings and events on the website. All right, that was my little shout out there. Okay, to Urban Garden. Okay, so let's. Yes, Diana. Yes, an adventure. My husband's family is from El Salvador, so it's going to be my first time going there. My mother is from Central America. She's from Costa Rica. But we're going there in December. So I'll be tuning in from Costa Rica in December. But next week will be El Salvador. So I'm excited. I mean, Central America is home to a lot of aroids that we know and love. So philodendrons, we're gonna see pothos. Um, monsteras, a lot of monsteras. Probably a couple Raphidodoras. Last time I went to Costa Rica, I saw tons of Ripsalis, which is um, an epiphytic cacti. So I'm really, I'm hoping, I wish I could bring stuff back, but you can't, unfortunately. But I will bring back photos and video. I'm gonna have to take like my charging banks for my phone because I know I'm gonna be getting so much footage. Oh, hello, Canada, Ottawa, Houston. Hello, hello. All right. Awesome. So to again, anything goes. You're welcome to drop any questions in the chat. If you'd like to share, just let me know and we can give you the floor. Um, but yeah, yes, is it this one? Are we talking about this?
Yes, that's it. That's it,
Yes.
Jocelyn. Exactly.
Yes. So I have 3 ponytail palms, and so
Oh,
that's a ponytail palm, but that's the curly. Um, the other ponytail palm that I had there is just gotten so big and it's splayed out, and so it kept banging its leaves against everything. So I switched it out for the curly one because she's much more compact. Hold on, let me. So this is my curly ponytail.
oh, that's really a nice specimen. Wow.
She's so pretty. And I just love how compact she is. So here's this really nice trunk. And she has several heads up here. It's hard to kind of differentiate. There we go.
Yeah, I see it.
And so then they come out and then they're very curly, as you can see. I have to figure out where I'm going to be putting my other one because I'll show you the other one. Hold on, let me put you back. Here we go. This other one, I think I might have to just put it in its own stand because it's just, let me move this over here. Oh, I have some freestanding grow lights on right now, so 1 second. Here we go. So I have, this is the guy that was there. But as you can see, it's getting very, very wide. And it keeps smacking into here and then breaking its leaves. And so I was like, yeah, that little corner is not a good spot for it. And it's putting out a bunch of new growth. So I need to find it a better place. But you can see that this codex here, so the stump, it looks very different. It looks more like a potato.
Yeah.
So it's much more like a kind of like a potato with a thinner stalk, but it's still a ponytail palm. But yeah, it has a much different kind of looking trunk structure. And so these are caudiciform plants. And so this actually is a water storage organ. So what's really neat is I only water my ponytail palms once a month.
Oh,
And these guys, this will actually get really, really wrinkly and get really kind of lower, really, really wrinkly. And then you fill it up, you give it a good bottom water. And in about 24 hours, you notice a difference, but in 48 hours, it gets nice and plump again. And then I can forget about it for a month again.
wow. Can you plant that outside, Jocelyn?
Yes, you can. Not if it gets too cold, but if you're somewhere like Florida or somewhere where it's not going to get a deep freeze, definitely. I can actually show you.
Yeah, I'm in Orlando and I planted 2 outside and they got huge over the trim line, the gutter line on the house. That's how tall they got. And they actually bloomed a stalk each season, a stalk of these white little flowers that were just beautiful. And it would kind of like dangle over. So it was so pretty. And it had that bark. It was real thick though, it looked like an elephant's trunk. It was, and I just watered that base all the time, kept it watered, even though we got rains through the summer season. It did well. They both did well.
I'm trying to think if it has a spray of white flowers. I'm wondering if it was a Dracaena. Um, hmm. Let me hold on. Ponytail palm. They get rather large. Here we go.
Yeah. See,
Yes.
So, hold on. Yeah. Here's one that has multiple stalks, so you can see there.
yeah, mine was like the one on the right, and the one I did have them branch off into three trunks, and in the middle of the connection of the branches, I potted a orchid, and that stayed out there year round, and it was like shaded in its own little canopy under the leaves of the palm. It was gorgeous, really beautiful. I just couldn't wait till they bloomed.
Yeah, I love that's the best way if anyone here has outdoor space and you have some sort of tree, like a palm or something that's going to give a lot of shade, putting your orchids in those trees, you can actually just hang them. It's the best. It's the
Yeah,
best. It'll keep them really, really happy because the canopy will protect them from the really strong light, from the
right,
heavy rain,
right.
heavy winds. And they just, whew, that's that's like
Gorgeous.
prime
Just
real estate for
yeah.
orchids. That's
It was
great.
gorgeous.
I'm trying to see if, George says, can it tolerate low light conditions? Ponytail palms, yes. It won't flourish. It will survive. It will survive. But you won't see a lot of that new growth coming in. It'll just look like it's kind of at a standstill for a really long time. I've had that guy, the big one. I'm sorry.
That guy.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna put mute.
Hold on. I'm gonna put mute. Um,
Okay.
There we go. I was getting some feedback there. um, Feel free to unmute yourself if you're gonna speak. No worries. I just think somewhat I was hearing like an echo. Um, but let me see here.
Hey, Jocelyn, I have something to show you.
Oh yeah, sure. Um, but yeah, just last thing about the ponytail palm. Just I've had it in Western light and it's been great. Um, yeah, I've had it in Western light, Eastern light, and then here next to the grow lights. Next to the grow lights has been the fastest growth I've seen for my ponytail palms for between all of them. Has been keeping them, and you see it's about like what, 2 feet away, 2 feet away from the grow light. Most growth I've seen. All right, and then someone was speaking, so I'm gonna put.
That's me, Jocelyn.
Uh,
You see this leaf? I'm showing
hold
you a
on
leaf.
1 second, just trying to. Oh, there you go. Hold on 1 second. Gonna spotlight you, and there we go. All right. Oh
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's like, and then the babies are still growing, and then these two long stems. I don't know if should I repot a bigger pot.
No, I wouldn't repot them right now. Those
But the
leaves.
stems are so tall and like they're
Yes. No,
what
no,
is this?
exactly. That looks like an alocasia, probably a Zabrina or a Syrian. I literally have the same problem. Hold on. Doo-doo-doo. I have the same exact plant
Yeah,
and the
it
same
is.
problem. Um, for my issue is that I put this a little bit too far from my window. And so it's stretched to the point where it's just too tall now to support its weight.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have it set aside because I was trying to find a bigger piece of bamboo because this one is way too small. Um, so I have to find a bigger piece so that I could uh, straighten it out. But I have the same problem you do. These guys just sometimes there's two reasons why it might be flopping. So one is it's way too stretched out, so it can't support its weight. And another potential issue is sometimes if you skip a watering and it gets way too dry, then it loses enough water to kind of hold itself up. And then even after you water, it's still difficult. It's called turgidity, and it kind of helps keep the form of the plant. Um, and if it got a little too dry, then this can happen as well. So, but yeah, I feel you because I'm I'm dealing with the same thing. Um, you can stake it with a piece of bamboo though. You can totally do that. Oh, that's a bird's nest fern. These are absolutely gorgeous. They're pretty hardy. Um, yeah. So these guys keep it in a nice indirect light. The center, it fills up with dead leaves and things like that. That's actually how they get their nutrition. So don't clean that out.
Oh,
Um,
I was cleaning them out.
oh no. Yeah, the new growth will come through there. It'll
Yep.
also like the dead. Yeah, see the center. If anyone can see, yeah, that center. So that's where the new growth arises, and also where dead leaves will kind of collect. And then the plant uses that for nutrition uptake. Um, it's a super neat plant.
Does it grow bigger? Should I
Oh yeah, yeah. It
replant
grows
to
a
a
little bit
bigger
bigger than that.
container? Should
You
I
don't
put it?
have to. I don't think you would have to repot anytime soon. So they're an epiphytic fern. So their roots don't get very large. So they tend to do pretty good in the pots they're in for a really long time. It would be pretty. Um, you would have to see like the roots escaping or something like that for it to really tell you that it needs an upgrade. So I would leave it in there for now. But I mean,
Okay.
that is a gorgeous specimen. You have so many leaves. That is beautiful.
Yeah, I really love it. I'm waiting for it to flower. If it flowers, I don't know.
I'm trying to remember if they flower. I don't think so. I'm trying to remember if it's a true fern. Because ferns will send out spores. Um, they get spores on their leaves. I'm not sure if it's a true fern because there are a couple plants that are called ferns that are not that are not ferns. So I can't remember if it's a true fern. Um, yeah, like there's even one behind me that's called a fern that is not a fern. Um, oh, there goes my I have a automatic desk. Hold on. There we go. I clicked on the button, so it was going down. But for instance, this is called an artillery fern. But it's actually a pilea. So microphylla, and it's a variegated variety. So yeah, there's plants that commonly get called ferns that aren't true ferns, but I think true ferns don't produce flowers, and they create spores.
Are these indoor plants or can I bring it out for in the summer?
I would recommend to keep it indoors. They can get burned from really strong light, and in really strong heat, they will start to crisp up. I think it's just safer to keep it indoors.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now I know how to take
You're
care of it.
It's beautiful. It really is. That's like one of the biggest ones I've seen. That is
Yeah.
beautiful.
I got this from the exchange plant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, maybe they didn't like it anymore. So
Maybe it
They-
got too wide. That's what happens with some of my plants. They get way too wide, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
yeah. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, let me see. Some stuff came in on the chat. Um, here we go. All right, hold on. We got a bunch of questions here. So I have a heart. So Nancy, I have a heart plant. My husband brought one of those many plant dish on her for a 50th. I saved only 2. I don't know if I planted the heart plant too deep.
I
Nancy.
have it here. Yeah, I have it
Oh,
here.
hold on. Let me find your. Oh, it's a carry. Okay.
Oh, what's it called? I thought it was a heart.
Yeah, they call it a heart. Yeah, it's a Hoya carry. And so here we go. I'm gonna show you what it's. So that is a Hoya carry, and it's growing up a little like piece of wood there. So that's the same thing you have, but you have one leaf.
That's how it came. I think they had so many in there. I think it was dying within the first week. So I tried to save them, and I don't know if my water killed them, but I have this one, and maybe you can identify this.
Oh, that is looks like a cryptanthus.
Okay. What is
That is a cryptanthus. Yeah, they also call it a earth star.
How do I care for it?
Yeah, so it's a bromeliad. And so these are plants that tend to grow on trees. So
Oh,
some of them are kind of semi-terrestrial. So just let it dry out completely. And then give it a good bottom water. Avoid really getting too much of the leaves wet in indoor conditions, because then it can start to rot on you. So don't keep it super moist. So just let it dry in between. With the Hoya caryi, for those guys, they definitely want to be dried between waterings.
this
If
one.
yes, that guy, yeah.
They're
If
too deep?
it might be. I would say try to remove any soil from the heart itself, because then the heart will start to rot. If you have a piece of node in there, which is like that living tissue that the roots and other shoots would come out of, it might grow more for you. If it doesn't, if it's just kind of the rooted leaf and that's it, then you might. Those tend to live about 1 to 2 years.
Really? I won't get anything from it?
If there isn't a piece of node in there, no.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes there is. Sometimes we're we're lucky if we get one of those that has a piece of node, and then it will start putting out new growth. So you would see like a little vine growing
Okay.
out, and that's a
Nope.
good sign.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
I was in Oregon and I was walking into a restaurant and I took a picture of a flower. And it's my most beautiful flower I've ever seen.
Wow.
It looks like paper, like,
It
do you know what it
does.
is?
No.
Do you think it's a hibiscus or?
Hibiscus, they have a very long pistil that kind of
Okay.
juts out.
But
Huh.
I had my girlfriend paint me a picture of this. It's just stunning.
Gorgeous. No,
So,
I don't. I'm so
anybody have
sorry,
any
I
ideas?
don't.
Anybody
I'm
from
looking at
Oregon?
yeah, if anyone knows what this is, definitely let
It
us
was
know.
on a bush.
Looking at
It was
the
on a
leaves-
bush.
Looking at the leaves. Hmm. No. That is gorgeous.
It looks like a variety of hibiscus.
Yeah, yeah, because the pistils on hibiscus are usually really long.
Yeah, there's more of a closer of the leaves. Very thin, it looks, and but the middle, it just stood right out that
yeah,
it was just so stunning. I've never seen it before. Because I live on the East Coast.
same. No,
Oh,
gosh,
all right.
if you can send me that, if you can send me the photo,
Mhm.
I'll try to see if I can figure that out.
How would I send it? So
Oh, yeah. I'll drop my email here in the chat, info@urbangarden.eco. There we go.
all right. And what about the lighting for these plants that I showed?
So for the carry bright indirect, you can even get a little bit brighter with them. So for instance, for my guy, I just have the grow light. So this one is tilted towards it, and that's it. But you can keep them in like an eastern window. I would be a little bit careful, pull it away from a western or southern window, but eastern window would be fine. Grow light, even better. With the it was that one, and then you had the cryptanthus. So the cryptanthus, so those guys also, you can pull it away from a western or southern window. These guys, it's like bright indirect light.
Okay.
So I have a few of mine in my southeastern, but they're pulled about 3 feet away.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let me see here.
Hello.
Yes. Oh, Hollis.
Yes. Oh,
Hello.
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 This plant, I wanted to find out more about it. I got it, it was all sitting in a jar, dried out, no water, and it was still alive. And then I just put it in some water for a while, then I put it in dirt. But you told me what it was, you know, during the what you call it that we had, but I don't know what it is. And I'm thinking it was supposed to be done like a bonsai, so I keep trimming off the tops so it can grow this way out to the sides instead of straight up. But I really don't know the watering or anything because it was dried out. So I think it's some kind of desert plant.
It definitely seems
exactly.
so.
It definitely seems so.
And the leaves are real thin. They're not really like what you call those plants that don't need water.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
like the stuff.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to recall. It might be like a milii or some type of. I'll try to look back at my notes.
It's got it's got a lot of thorns on here, a little bitty thorns everywhere, like to stick you anywhere on this stem is thorn, very thorny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, being the structure and I would say to let the plant completely dry out between waterings. So if I would feed it like a Euphorbia milii, something like that, then I would say maybe water every 2 to 3 weeks.
Jocelyn, you're echoing.
Yeah, I think my feet. Yeah, I'm gonna try. We'll see if I think it's the connection. 1 second.
It might be a Chinese plant because I live in a building with a lot of Chinese, and the office, they left it in the office, and the people in the office wasn't taking care of it and didn't want it. So they let me have it. So it could be from Asia. I don't know. It's just like really thorny.
Yeah, I'll try to.
I'll try to.
I can send you in an email again so you can see what it is.
Okay.
This I just got is a fern, and because I killed all my other ferns, I said I'm keeping it in the bathroom because I just got it this weekend, and you said keep them away from the rest of your plants until you make sure there's no bugs. But yeah, this is she said it was a type of fern. Do you know what it is?
Yeah. It might be called the ice fern. Because it looks like it has some white on it.
Yeah, it has variegation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. With these guys, they don't like to completely dry out. So just kind of stay on top and make sure that it doesn't, it's not muddy, if you're not keeping it flooded. But at the same time, you might want to keep like a saucer there so you can check, and then bottom water when needed. And keep it in a protected area so that it doesn't get really direct strong light.
Yeah, not direct strong light. That's good. And I'm just trying to. I really wanted to try to get a bunch of ferns. I like ferns. I like the way they look. So I was trying to get a few ferns and see if I can grow them. But another thing I was the herb. Can you send me the link for Friday's class? Because I have a lot of herbal questions. I grow things like plantain and purslane and those little weeds that are edible, so that you can keep them. I can keep them in the house, but I don't know if you can grow those weeds in the house because they grow in the cracks of the sidewalk outside, and it's like they might need a certain type of area to grow in. Not, they might be the kind of plants that can grow in the house. So
yeah, I mean, right now I'm not holding the Friday class. I'm kind of putting those as separate classes. But I am gonna be putting them up soon for dates. So I'll send that to you.
Okay.
You're welcome. Okay.
I have another one for you, Jocelyn. What,
Okay.
I don't know what this is.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Add a spotlight. There we go. I think the echo stopped, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Irene. Oh, that's a Pilea peperomoides. Pilea peperomoides. These are beautiful. They will actually get a woody stem. They'll get much taller. They'll also give you babies as well. These guys do like stronger light. So if you can find a nice brighter spot for it, it'll appreciate that very much. Yeah, and these guys, they like to dry out between waterings, but you might end up watering it about every 7 to 10 days or so. They don't want to get super dry. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. It's nice and full.
It has babies already, and I replanted. The babies grew right here on the side. So I just pulled them and planted them They say that it's a friendly plant where you can.
Yes, yes, the friendship plant. Yes, because you
Right,
can share
right.
you can share it because it'll
Right,
produce all those
exactly.
babies.
So that's what I'm planning to do with the babies. Give it to
Oh,
my
that's
friends.
no, that's great. Yeah, and they'll get very tall. So
Oh, really?
they get very tall. Yeah.
How tall could they be till I transplant them in a bigger pot? Because right now it's a small pot.
Yeah, no, I think it'll take a really long time. But they're
Okay.
very long lived. So I've had folks that have had them for almost 10 years and
Oh,
they're they
wow.
get up and by
Wow.
then they get like a woody stem and they're several feet tall.
Oh,
So
my.
yeah, they're a really
Thanks.
cool plant.
Yeah. They're indoors, right? Indoor
Yeah,
plant.
yeah, I would say to keep it indoors. It might fry if you put it outside.
Even if it loves the sun.
Yeah, I think not too strong where it'll get cooked. Yeah.
They're in
It'll
my
cook for
window
like a
next.
softer bright light.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of light. It's right into my window. It's
Yeah,
getting a
yeah.
lot of light.
Yeah, it should be fine. It should totally be fine like that. But I would be hesitant bringing it outside because it might burn. The sun has been super intense. And it might be a little too much.
Does it flower?
Yes, yes.
Ooh,
Um,
I can't
and they
wait
get
to
these
see that
really
one.
pretty flowers. I can see if I can pull that up. They do indeed flower. Here we go. Hylia whoops, peppermoides. There we go. Um, let me see if I can find a taller one just to show you. There we go. See, it gets this woody stem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then the flower, it's like a spray of flowers. It looks really pretty.
Yeah.
Like here we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it gets these really, really pretty, here we go. Yeah, this really pretty spray of flowers.
It's like a bridal flower.
Yes, 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 definitely. Yeah. Oh, here's a good one too. So you could see like how it gets this woody kind of stem. Um, really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
That
Kind
looks
of
like a
flower.
sculptured stem.
It does. It does.
It's like an art.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh, but yes, yes. Plants
That's
are a great
beautiful.
example of living art. Yeah, no, exactly. They're beautiful.
I'm gonna keep it for sure then. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're very welcome. Let's see here. So someone said that it looks like they might have somebody might have found your the flower that we were just talking about. Let's see here. That might be it. That might be it. Hold on, let me put my screen to share again. It might be in this family because does look like the leaves. The leaves looked very thin. Let's see. Yes, because somebody mentioned cystis. So let's see here. Cystis. Ooh. Haha.
That is it.
Thank you, everyone. Look at everybody had their detective hats on. There we go.
I'm going to take a screenshot of that.
So the cystis, that is awesome. Thank you, everyone, for solving that mystery.
Thank you so much. Oh, look at how many there are. Wow.
That's awesome. I haven't seen these before. These are beautiful.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Oh, the white. That is absolutely gorgeous.
I
Yeah,
wonder
no,
if they grow on the East Coast.
I wonder, yeah, where is cystis native to? Native range. Mediterranean. Yeah, Mediterranean region.
Just a
Yeah,
house
I
plant,
think it
maybe.
gets too cold here on the East Coast,
Oh,
unfortunately.
wow. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. Oh my gosh, so Sandra just said that cistus flowers only last a day in the UK. Is that everywhere? Oh my gosh. Um, yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
Judy asked, oh, for the Pilea peperomoides, it is indeed also called the money plant. Yep, it is also called a money plant. And speaking of one day flowering, I actually have this guy. Hold on. I think I had shown it a couple weeks ago, and it was just still a corm. I have two plants in here, by the way. I have a crazy Stephania vine that I didn't want to break, so I was just kind of tying to this trellis in an odd way just to kind of keep her in check because it's several feet long at this point. But I threw this little guy in here too, and this is a voodoo lily. So it's a tiny corpse flower, basically. And I didn't know if I was gonna get leaves or a lily the first time around, and it looks like it's giving me a lily. And this is gonna open for one day. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's gonna die back. You can actually already see the space in there. So it's in the aroid family. And they have a scent. It's a corpse flower, so they do have a very distinct scent. It's not giving that scent yet, but it will eventually. It's the Amorphalis viridis. Let me see here. Just to show you Amorphalis. There we go. Here we go. So it's a tiny one. So it's a dwarf version. So, oh, there we go. Atrovirides. That's the one that I have. So here is when it gets its leaves, but it's still, so it decided to give me a flower this time. And so this is the flower. So that's what's coming right now. So it's a slow thing. I'm really hoping it doesn't flower while I'm in El Salvador. I'll be very sad because it only lasts for a day, and it looks pretty close to flowering. So I'm hoping it'll do it this week, and I'm gonna try to get pictures and video to commemorate the moment because it will it will go away just as quickly. All right, so. Someone said, Linda, yes. Let me find Linda's video. Linda. Let me see. Nope. Where? Linda, there we go. Spotlight. Haha, okay. Ooh. Oh, I think Linda, I think you're still on mute. Hold
There.
on. Oh, there we go. Yes, so that it looks like a neon pothos.
Yes, but look what it's doing.
Ooh.
Now there's another pothos. This is on my the mantle of my fireplace, and it is about 6 feet away from a west-facing window, and then 6 feet further from the window, I have another pothos that is got white stripes on it, and it doesn't have any of this damage. So I don't know if it's an insect or if it's a watering thing.
I don't think it's a watering thing, only because the leaves look very damaged and the damage looks more crispy.
Yes,
Um,
it is.
so that is odd. I would say to check if you might have spider mites or thrips or something that might be because it looks like, yeah, there's some leaves there that look like it's a lot of, it almost looks like mechanical damage, which is something like when you drop the plant
Yes,
or,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, if it
No,
was like squished in like a box or something. That's very common for that kind of damage because you can see like actual holes and rips.
yeah, yes.
Um,
Okay, so
so
I
I
don't
would,
know that I don't know that there's an insect on it because like 6 feet away or 5 feet away, there's another plant, another pothos that doesn't have any of this damage. And I treat them both the same.
yeah. I mean, I know that the neon varieties, um, they tend to like a brighter light situation, but at the same time, if the light is very intense, like a western or southern window, it can cause burns. Um, so,
You know
but
what?
I'm not sure if
I'll
that's
have to,
sunburn. Hmm.
it's a south facing window. So what I'll do is in the morning, I'll check to see if it's getting morning sun. And
Yeah,
maybe that, yeah.
yeah.
And because the other one is further away and it doesn't get any.
So
Okay.
maybe as an experiment, maybe try to pull it a little bit farther from that light source and see if maybe at least you don't see further damage.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if it might be burnt. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's the water. It doesn't look fungal. And it doesn't because
Okay,
that
that's what
would
I
be
was
much
wondering.
more. Yeah, because it would be much more soft. Um, it kind of feels like you can poke your finger through the brown hole. It's like a very gelatinous kind of, it's literally decaying the leaves, but this looks very crispy.
Yeah.
So that
So
makes me think, yeah.
So I took some babies off, like I took some stems off, and they're all propagating now. I want to save the plant.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So now I have this other plant that's reaching my
Oh.
ceiling. It's a euphorbia.
Yes, a euphorbia. I think looks like a euphorbia trigona. Wow.
And it's almost to the ceiling, so I'm going to have to take some of the top off and root those.
That's
but this
easy
is
to root.
oh, okay. And so, but the bottom stem is like this. Now, is that mechanical damage or is it just because they're getting old? Like these plants
So,
are, 15, 20 years old.
so those could be two things. One, it could be corking, which is very common, which is with like older succulents. They get that kind of like a crusty kind of growth onto their bottom stems, and it's kind of supportive to support the
Okay.
weight above, which is completely normal. Sometimes it might be residual damage from like a mite infestation, something like that as well, like scale even. But it doesn't look like it's incredibly pronounced. It looks like it's really kind of kept in certain areas. It's not something that's spreading, right? It's just kind of
No.
something that's there. So I
No.
would go with corking. I think it's more than likely it's just corking from old age. But
Yeah.
that is a monster of a euphorbia. My
I
tallest
love it.
euphorbia, I think 1, 2, 3. I think she's like 3 feet only.
Yeah.
That is huge. That is
Um,
awesome.
And some of the stems are turning sort of like a red, and I think that is
Yes.
damage from the sun. Or is it? Is it?
So there is a euphorbia rubra, so it's the Trigona rubra, and that one does turn burgundy in the sun.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So for instance, I have a couple rubras because I just love how they turn burgundy. So like this is one, for
That's it.
instance.
That's it. Yeah.
And
That's what it
so,
was when it was a baby.
oh, perfect. Yeah. So then that's it's just turning in. It's a blush that happens in the sun, but it's a good thing. So it's just so like I have this guy right under the grow light, and you see that really beautiful red,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
the leaves even turn this really pretty burgundy color.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Um,
leaves. It's like
and
almost like fall leaves.
yes, yes, yes. I literally have, I have one, two, three, four. I probably have like six of these throughout the house. Um, there's just they're so low maintenance too. So
Now,
another reason why they're one of my favorites.
now I'm wondering about the size of the stem. There are larger stemmed
Mhm.
versions of this, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, because I see like in shop windows and great big thick stems.
Yes, yes. And
But this,
they can get thicker. Um, so with those especially, what I would mention that when you are gonna do any pruning, make sure to wear gloves.
okay.
'Cause they release a very toxic white sap.
Mhm.
It can be very irritating to your hands, and if you accidentally got it into your eyes or in your mouth, that would not be good. So you can make sure to. I've seen folks do a cool trick where you put a cup of ice water, but in a plastic cup that you plan to dispose of. So not something you would ever be drinking out of,
Mhm.
but put some ice water in there. And so when you do the cut, you dip the bottom really fast.
Oh, yeah, because it oozes like a milky substance.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
But when you dip it into the ice really quick, it stops the sap from running.
excellent. Okay, now somebody asked if I could show the whole plant, but I don't know how I would do that. I guess if I take my laptop, not my laptop, my iPad, I'll see if I can do this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
How tall are your ceilings?
I think they're 8 feet. Oh no, they're 9 feet.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Okay, so
Oh
this is
my gosh.
that's the bottom. And how do I get the top?
Wow. Oh,
I'll say,
oh,
okay.
oh, there we go. Oh my goodness gracious.
And there's the ceiling. So you can see they sort of bend when they get close to the ceiling.
Yes.
Can I show you another one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so awesome.
I love this apartment because it's got east, west, and north facing windows.
That's
No,
perfect.
no, east, south, and west. Here's another one that I have. Let's see, where is it? It's a pencil
Oh,
pack. It's
yeah.
a pencil cactus.
That is gorgeous.
And it's getting to be quite close. And this is in a west facing window, so it's doing quite well.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's huge.
then let's see, there's a cactus that has a branch on it behind. And I'm worried that it's going to fall over. So
Oh,
anyhow,
I see.
okay, anyhow.
Does your pencil cactus turn red ever?
It hasn't yet, and I've had it for about 6 years.
Okay, because mine hasn't gone red either, and so I was just curious.
Yeah, and I started it just from like a 6-inch cutting. And yeah, there's there's just one stem in there now.
Yeah, I think it's mostly a lot, you have to have like a certain type of light situation to really maintain that red. I bought a pencil cactus and it was bright red orange
Oh
when
wow.
I bought it, and I put it in my western window because I was like, that's the strongest light I have, and it's green.
Okay.
It reverted back to green, and it's growing and it looks happy, but it's not orange anymore.
Okay,
So I-
and so yeah, this is the other pothos that's doing better,
Ooh,
and it's down to the floor. So
wow.
yeah, and it has some damage, but not to the same extent. Yeah, there's one here that's okay.
That is a beautiful pothos.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hold on. I know there is some chat here. And Darlene is saying this is the only money plant that I knew of. Yes, okay, this is a great example. So I'm gonna pull up what Darlene just shared. Here we go. So she just shared a link to this called the money plant. And so this is a Lunaria annua, which funny enough, hold on one second. Those are one of my favorites. And where did I put, I just had them. Where did I put those seeds? Where did I put those seeds? I think I put them up here. Did I put them in here? And trying to see where did I put them? I think I have to look for them because I seem to have put them down somewhere to, oh, never mind. Found them. Okay. So Lunaria annua, they're seeds. They're in the mustard family. And my neighbor has them. So these are the seed pods. So they're two pieces, and then the seeds fell out except for this one. So you can see the seed. But they come in, hold on, just so I could show everyone in a larger, here we go. So these are the seeds for the Lunaria annua. Here one of the seeds got left behind, but it's like paper, it's like silk. And they're called siliques, these little seed pods. And so they have these really thin seeds. Really, really cool. Super like see-through. I love collecting odd seed pods. But what I wanted to show as an example is the issue with common names, right? So for instance, this is what Darlene knows as a money plant, right? This is a money plant to Darlene. But do you know what another one, as we mentioned with the Pilea peperomoides, is the Chinese money plant, as you can see here. And then when you look at pothos, pothos is also known as the money plant as well. Money plant pothos. Pothos money plant. So that's the issue with common names, right? Is that many plants are known by the same common name depending on the region. It can get very confusing because you might be sharing care tips for your money plant, but your money plant is the Pilea, and you're telling me about how to take care of it, and maybe I'm referring to the Lunaria annua, right? And I think, oh yeah, oh cool, yeah, that's not how I take care of my money plant, but yeah, and it's really comes down to that common name confusion. Yeah. Yes, Linda, thank you so much for showing us that huge euphorbia. That is awesome. That's on my list to get something that large, because mine, I have kind of singletons. I just have like one, and but I would love to get a mass of euphorbias like that. Oh, that's on my That's on my wish list. Synth, who will take care of your menagerie and all of your plants while you're gone? And how to get rid of mealybugs. Yes. So first one, my sister-in-law. So she's going to come and house sit. So we're gonna try to leave we're only gonna be gone for a week. So we're gonna try to water everyone and anyone that might need a little bit more attention. I will leave kind of together with notes on when she has to water them. But for the most part, they'll be fine for the week. For the animals, though, yeah, she will be watching over our animals, and we have a whole manual. She did that back in October, and so now, yeah, doing it again. As for mealy bugs, yes, mealy bugs are just that is a very annoying pest to have. But in the grand scheme of things, I would rather have mealy bugs, um, like over spider mites, definitely over thrips, anything like that. I would pick if I had to pick. I'd pick mealy bugs. Um, so what you could do is with the plant. Hold on, I'm getting some feedback, so I'm just gonna put mute just in case I'm getting feedback for that reason. But you could get some, so first remove the plant, pull it aside. Don't let it be near any of your other plants because mealybugs do spread rather quickly. So so you want to be very mindful of that. Then once you're going to bring it directly to your sink, I would say that's the best place to bring it directly. Gather up some isopropyl alcohol, which is rubbing alcohol. Have water at the ready and non-degreasing dish soap. So if you can avoid using things like Dawn dish soap or anything that has like a powerful degreaser, because that's going to really ruin your leaves. So you want something that's much more gentle, like a Castile soap. If you have Myers on hand, for example, a very, very gentle dish soap. And then you're going to get kind of like a squirt. You can get a squirt bottle. So I have this one for rubbing alcohol, but these are great. You can buy them. They're usually super cheap. And what you'll do is you'll fill it up about halfway full of rubbing alcohol, the other half water, and then you can put 1 to 2 drops of the dish soap, shake it up, and then you're going to tilt your plant. So when you're going to be spraying, you're going to be tilting the plant and doing it this way so that you're not spraying soap into the soil. And then you're going to wait for a few minutes. I would say at least 5 minutes. In the meantime, you can try to really kind of massage that mixture onto the leaves, on the back of the leaves, on the stems. And then you can turn on the faucet and give it a really good rinse. Again, trying to avoid getting all that soap in your soil. And you can really try to kind of manually remove them. And then after, what you could do is you can go in with a Q-tip, like a cotton swab with some rubbing alcohol, like straight rubbing alcohol, and really go in there and kind of go up and down the stem into these little, if you have a plant that has a lot of crevices, like nooks and crannies, really get in there to make sure you get any egg sacs, because they do create like a little nest, a little cottony nest there. And you're going to want to do that in order to kill any potential stragglers. And basically do that, repeat that at least once a week for at least 6 weeks. 10 weeks is a better time kind of span, but 6 weeks at the very least, very consistent, at least once a week, just to make sure that they don't kind of come back in full force. Mitzi is asking, how do I send you a photo to identify a plant? Yes, you can go ahead and email me at info@urbangarden.eco. I will put the email address here in the chat, urbangarden.eco. Yes, feel free to do so. let me see here. Sandra, cistus are quite hardy in the UK in well draining soil. I wonder if that's why they're doing well on the West Coast. Okay. And Deanna, oh, the ponytail. Okay, awesome. So I will check. Oh, Jerry, sorry. I just saw this. It says it's a direct message. Sorry about that. I have an odd plant that I would like to show you. I love to see odd plants. So please share away. Let me see here. Oh, a Geogananthus. That's a Geogananthus. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I think you're on mute, Jerry. Oop.
Can you spell that for me? Because I'm a
Yeah.
terrible speller.
No, you're fine. It's a Geogananthus. I believe it's Geogan, Ganan. Yeah, Geogananthus. Let me look it up so I make sure I'm spelling it correctly for you. 1 second here. Geogananthus, right? Yeah, Geogananthus. Oh, it's with a E. There we go. Geogananthus. That is awesome. I'm so happy you found one. They're very hard to find. They kind of blew up in popularity in the last year. And so the few times I have found them, they have been incredibly overpriced. I found one and it was like over $100. And another one, they wanted like 70 something for it. And it was very small. And I was like, I might as well have gotten the other one for $100 because this one was way too small. But I haven't found like a tiny one. And they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. And apparently they were incredibly common. They were just a regular common house plant. And it's just, but nobody was really paying attention to them. And they just blew up in popularity. And now it's hard. It's so hard to find them. At least here in New York City, it's everywhere. They're gone. But look at this. I know I have seen a white kind of version. It's like a really light green version. But they're such a beautiful plant. Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome, Jerry. I'm so glad you found one. They're so neat. Oh yeah, see, here we go. The fiddle leaf. So even the New York Times. So the fiddle leaf fig was what was considered like, prime time, top house plant, right? For a really long time. It kind of held that crown for a while. And the Geogananthus kind of dethroned the fiddle leaf fig and has become the new it plant, the new cool plant to have. So yeah, look at that. That is just
Wow.
Oh, it won the honor of best new foliage at the Tropical Plant International Expo. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. That is awesome. My little goth baby. Yeah, they are quite a beautiful plant. So I'm very happy you found one. So from what I've heard, they're kind of very similar in care to like peperomia. They appreciate humidity. Bottom watering tends to be pretty good, but that they tend to get a little thirstier than like some peps. So something like I've heard of like watering them about once to like every 7 to 10 days or so. Yeah, I haven't had one myself, so I wish I knew more tips and tricks for you, but it's on my wish list. So I'm so happy you found one. You see here. Oh yes,
I just wanted to tell you quickly, I don't want to eat up too much of your time.
No, you're fine.
We started a plant swap Ours was the first one on Saturday. It's going to be every second Saturday of the month. It's at the VFW in Winter Springs, Florida. It's from 11:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon. Excuse me. And we got the hall for free, so we'll be using it every month now, the second Saturday of the month. And for our first meeting, we had a total of 29 people show up, and everybody left with an arm full of plants. So it's really going to be a real big hit. It's in Winter Springs, Florida.
That is awesome. For anyone who's in Florida, please check that out. That is so great.
Yeah, just check the VFW number in Winter Springs, Florida. It'll give you the directions on how to get there. And they're really friendly folks. We worked a long time to get this thing going, and VFW is very gracious to let us have the room for free. So, and people were just bringing in just tons of plants, very friendly people, and we put them on tables, and you just go around and take what you want. That's how it works, the swap. You don't even have to have a plant to swap with. Just come in and grab some plants.
That is so neat.
So we really needed that here in Central Florida, and now that we have it, we're going to keep it going, and I'm sure it's going to spread. I just hope that we don't spread so much that we, outpopulate the room that we have.
Oh, that's so
Thank you very
cool.
much.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I just wanted to ask you quickly on that plant that I showed you. Should you use a kind of a lighter soil with a lot of perlite in it? My mix is the Pro Mix with 50% cut of perlite. It's a light mix that I use, and I've been pretty successful with it so far.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. They definitely appreciate a little bit more peat and cocoa coir. So, yeah, I think that.
Peat and what?
Oh, and cocoa coir. So, but like that 50/50 perlite with a nice pro mix, that should be fine.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'll put that information in the group. I think a lot
That'd
of
be great.
folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I sent you a private message with all the information.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Yeah, if anyone out there has swaps, meetups, they have like info, please feel free, send it to me. If you guys have like a flyer or anything, feel free to send it my way, because then I can post it in the group for folks that are in your area, because that would be awesome. Oh, and Linda was at so is this one of the plants you got at that swap?
Yes, yeah, it's one of the ones I got.
All right, so it was at the swap. Awesome. Because we had someone asking where where you managed to find it. Awesome. All right, let me see. Where do we have oh, hold on. Let me I'm gonna actually put this article in the chat in case anybody wants to check that out. And then I will, here we go. Okay, so let's see here. Trying to make sure I didn't miss any questions. If I did, feel free to let me know. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Here's the info on the plant swap. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. And yes. Oh, here we go. Jamie, I have 3 ponytail palms planted together years ago. They grew to a bigger pot, but one became dwarfed and finally died. The other 2 are doing well. The leaves are dripping down from their own stand, but one is growing a bit larger. Do I have to separate them? Will the bigger choke out the smaller? I like the way they look now and have limited space.
I'd like to show you if you can hear me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
right next
absolutely.
to me, it's very large. It hangs about 3 feet in, let's see, I'm looking for where my picture is and I can't find me now, but can you see?
Yep.
Okay, here's the top of it, and you see the one is a little shorter. And I'm wondering if the 2 of them choked out the littler one, even though they all started the same. and it goes up and it hangs down and it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going.
Oh my gosh.
You know, yeah,
Oh my gosh. And that's the type that looks like the big guy that I have that has
yeah,
like it looks like a turnip or a potato or something with a
yeah.
really
There's,
tall stalk.
I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see, I
yeah.
don't think you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see the, there it is.
That is awesome.
It's very impressive on a pedestal because it drips way down below the pedestal. And when I take it to the sink to water it, because you said you like bottom watering on these, I have to actually make the ponytail into a ponytail to keep it all out of the water.
Yeah, that wow. Yes, I do think they are choking each other out. So they will do that because they're battling for resources. And so one will always just be slightly more efficient than the others. So I mean, you could separate them. The only issue is that if they have been growing like that for a really long time, those roots are probably very much intertwined. So you might cause a
Oh,
lot of damage.
yeah, it's been probably a decade maybe.
Yeah, so
And
they
I really don't have another place to put another pedestal. I'd have to
yeah,
give one away and I'd miss it. So if those keep living this way,
yeah,
it's only
they'll
a few inches in difference.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I would keep them as is. I think in terms of the risk assessment, right? I think it's better to keep them as is. You might just have that slight size difference, but um, if anything too, they might have also sometimes species, same species planted in the same pot, will especially like woodier or like caudex plants, things that sometimes they will actually fuse some of their roots together as well. So I just think pulling them apart might just cause too much damage, and then they
Okay.
might lose, uh, some of that they can't take advantage of like the growing season, and it'll take them time to recover. So I would leave as is. It looks they look gorgeous.
Well, thank you. It's good news because I didn't really want to separate them. And pointing
Yeah.
out behind me is my, talk about the fiddle leaf fig. There's my
Oh,
tree, my
your fig.
ficus tree behind me. It's about 20 years old and it reaches the ceiling. This is
That's
in a window, west-facing window in Chicago.
It's absolutely amazing. I've tried keeping those specific types of like because like it's like the Benjamina and these different types of ficus. But I think they're just because they're toxic to my cats. I
Mhm.
I've only been able to find smaller ones, and they start to do really really well, and then I don't know. I do well with other types of ficus, but I can't seem to keep those
Oh,
happy. And
wow.
I haven't found one that's like a nice tall size where I don't have to worry about my cats.
Well, I found this one discarded in the garbage and I dragged it home. It was a few feet shorter. And then I discovered, I didn't have a lot of plants then, but I discovered it had some kind of bug. I forgot if it was spider mites or scale. And I took a leaf in a Ziploc bag to the local florist, and he told me, he gave me something to put on it, but he said you have to totally wash it down like once a week, I think he said. So I was dragging this plant as tall as me into the shower with me once a week. So I think it knows I love it, and that's why it's been thriving ever since.
That's commitment right there.
Mhm. I could never afford to buy it at the price it would be, so I had to cure it.
No, and I think those make the best. Those are like the best stories.
Oh yeah, you should have
You know,
seen me. Imagine me naked and dragging this thing through the doorway and trying, the leaves are falling and the tree and I are both undressed in the shower.
that's great though. That's a bond right there. That is a bond that cannot be broken. No, that's wonderful. That is so wonderful. And it looks very happy. I'm
It
so
does,
happy
yeah.
you found it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. That's goals right there. That's goals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
thank
very
you.
little room. I have one double window to put everything in, so big plants make a bigger impression than a lot of plants.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Although I added a few since I've been watching you. I've got the spiky Sansevieria and a couple other things that you encourage.
Yeah, we're literally out of room, and I'm still packing them in, and my husband's like, why?
No, I wondered, when I water mine and things, I have a little calendar I write when I fed them and when get watered. How do you handle several hundred plants of knowing who's due for fertilizer and who's due for water?
Yeah, so I had a really great detailed spreadsheet. And it was insanely detailed. I put where I bought them. I put when I watered them, and after I just stopped. It was too tedious. I was spending, time not only doing the work, but then writing in that I did the work, and I was losing my mind. And so I just kind of threw that away, and I basically go in groupings. And so, like the plants behind me, roughly it's about every 2 weeks that they need some attention. And so I kind of group them that way. Like in our bedroom, it's mostly all cacti and succulents, with a few philodendron in there, but it's mostly succulents. And so, again, those, it's like every 2 to 3 weeks. So I just kind of group it like that. Like I need to attend to the bedroom plants in 2 weeks. And then on site. So there's just a couple plants that we have here that do need a little bit more attention. Like I have a Cebu blue pothos, and that one definitely needs watering at least once a week. Some of our cuttings, they need a little bit more attention. But for the most part, everything is pretty good for every like 2 weeks. So I try to cycle it around. So then it all doesn't fall like on the same day or in the same week. But no, once I got past 100 plants, I ditched the spreadsheet. It was just too much, unfortunately. Yeah, but that's the terrible thing though, is if I'm not around, yeah, then it would be really hard to recall. I do just write that down. I'll just write, like I make a note on my phone, and I'll put did kitchen plants Sunday, and then the date. And that's what I'll do. So then I know, oh, okay, it's been 2 weeks. So more than likely that's when I need to give them some attention. That's the only way I can handle it. Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
You're very welcome. Patricia has a question about soil. Yes. 1 second. Let's see here. Just making my way down here. I had a question about a soil recipe consisting of 50% coco coir, 20% worm castings, 20% perlite, and 10% slow release fertilizer. I saw this online. What are your thoughts? A couple issues with that. Well, with this seems like it's going to be a mix that's going to retain a lot of moisture. That's for one. Especially if there's only 20% perlite. Coco coir, while it does tend to dry very quickly, it does hold water for at least a few days. It really holds on to water. 20% worm castings is a lot, because that's going to hold in a lot of moisture. Only 20% perlite, it's going to give some drainage, but not that much. So this is sounding like a plant that likes wet feet, something that's going to want to be moist for a longer period of time. But then the big issue with this recipe is 10% slow release fertilizer. That is a lot. That is a lot of slow release fertilizer. I would definitely not think of adding fertilizer in like percentages like this. It's more of a pinch type of situation, versus 10% of an entire mix. I think that would be a lot. I would say kind of more of like a little pinch. I see a lot of folks add sometimes like a lot of slow release fertilizer, but the issue with that is you might not notice it right away, right? You think, oh, look, the plant's happy, everything's fine. But it's after that fertilizer has been watered a few times and that's when it's activated basically by the water. It starts to kind of leach out. What ends up happening is that you'll start to see fertilizer burn months down the line. So you'll start to see like maybe 2 to 3 months later, that's when and by then that means your roots are probably damaged. If the leaf they look burnt. It looks like you put them in an oven. And they get really crispy and they start getting yellow and they start dropping leaves. So I think 10% slow release fertilizer is really a lot. I recommend going in with a pinch. And this does, again, as I said, sound like something that's going to retain a lot more water. If this was something like an aroid, right, like a philodendron, a monstera, I would probably do 50% perlite, and then mix in a little bit of orchid bark, orchid bark, maybe lava rock, or leca, whichever you have handy, with the coco coir, and just to give it a little bit more airiness, but it'll still hold on to a nice amount of water. But yeah, gosh, 10% slow release fertilizer. That's like standing out to me. Yeah, that seems like a lot. Yeah, Nancy, I'm glad that everyone was able to figure out the cistus for you. That was awesome. That's a gorgeous flower. I've never seen that before. So that was absolutely beautiful. I'm so grateful that folks recognized it. Oh, and I do want to show actually, so I found something over the weekend that I like lost my mind over. I left the smaller one over there, but I brought the bigger one here. So you can already tell I lost my mind because I bought two. So I went to here in New York City at Union Square. We have on Saturdays there is a farmers market, and there are these 2-3 kind of businesses that usually come out with all of their plants there. And so I went on Saturday and just to see what I might come across. And of course, what would end up happening is I see a plant and I gravitate towards it. I go, okay, I need to have this plant. And it turns out that when I bring it up to the counter, the woman says, oh, we have bigger ones. And I was like, really? What's the price difference? And she's like, oh no, it's still $10. I said, really? So I go, I find the bigger version of the plant, I bring it to the counter, and then I can't make up my mind. And so I decide I'm taking both of them, both of them home. So this is the bigger one. But look what I found. So this is papyrus. So excited about this. I was supposed to get some a few weeks ago, and the person ended up not being able to ship it out. And it was like really hot and they didn't want it to get burnt. But here we go. So now I have some papyrus. So apparently I put it immediately in my western window, but it likes a lot of bright sun, and it wants to be kept relatively wet. So yeah, so now I have two to experiment with and we'll see, but they're absolutely beautiful. It's a very distinctive plant. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm in love with these little tufts, and yeah, I'll let you know how it does. I have them both in my living room right now, but this one's going to stay in the living room, and I think the smaller one is going to go in my bedroom. But yeah, so I found this, and I found this guy like on Thursday or Friday. At the corner, we have a grocery store at the corner, and they were selling these, and I just had to grab it. So this has also joined our collection. I just love how thin it is, and it's the variety that doesn't have any thorns on it, any needles. So I'm happy about that. I have quite a few like Apuntia type species but they all have thorns. Kim, how do you care for it? I think you're talking about the papyrus. So I just picked them up. It's my first time with them, but from what I was told is that I have to keep them in bright light, and they don't like to completely dry out. So I do need to kind of stay on top of them, make sure that they're getting watered as soon as they dry out. And from what I was also looking up, you can keep them outdoors, but yeah, you can bring them in the winter, and that yeah, a pot with water, like marsh settings. So that's from my understanding, yeah, and that you can keep them like that indoors. They can stay outdoors until I think it gets 40 Fahrenheit. But that if it gets colder than that, they're not gonna survive outside. So that's what I know so far. I'm excited to just experiment with them because I've never had them. They do die off when dry, and oh, you have to watch for mosquito larvae. Okay, good, thanks. Southeast Ontario, -30 Celsius. So yes, they come in. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, I'll find out. So far, I'm trying to. My cats were very attracted to it. But from what I'm seeing is that they're not necessarily toxic to cats, but they can cause some mild toxicity, can cause upset stomach. So I'm just trying to keep them away from the cats, and yeah, and learn as I go. Yes, our cats eat it, but they hork it up. Yep. So that's what I've been reading. Because I before I even purchased it, I made sure, because I was like, this is going to be very attractive to our cats. It looks very fun for them to chew on. But yeah, but it will upset their tummies. All right, I think I got everyone's question. I saw that someone sent me some photos outside orchids. I have, oh, they're wrapped around chicken wire. Oh, that's smart. Let me see, Deanna, let me just see if I can open that up. Here we go. Wow. 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 Look at
That's it
that.
in full bloom. And it's way over the gutter line of the house, and that's the bud. It just
Oh,
it buds this tall star, and that's how it blooms.
that is gorgeous.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
These orchids are
Yeah.
beautiful. Look at
Yeah.
that.
And that's in the other one in the crux of the tree. And it
Wow.
bloomed,
Are
just
these
bloomed,
are
stayed
these
through the winter.
cattleyas?
Yes. Just stayed through the winter. It was fine. It loves it there. It keeps blooming every season. So I really enjoyed that. Just looked out my sliding glass doors and can see that from anywhere in the room. So pretty.
That is,
Oh, thank you for showing it.
yeah. Oh my God, these are gorgeous. Oh yeah. Yeah. See, it's like, yeah, sometimes I'm happy I live in New York City, and then other times I'm like, I wish it was a better weather here so I could have these tropical plants outdoors. Yeah, I lose my mind when we visit Florida, or especially when we go to Costa Rica, and
Yeah.
so
And I
gorgeous.
started them from tiny plants, and one was a rescue, in fact, that I nursed to see how far I could get with it. It wasn't until later on I transferred them to the outside. And they did well there. They liked the location. So we got the afternoon sun all afternoon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
That's the dream. You're welcome.
You'll get there, Jocelyn. You're headed that way.
I have my indoor garden. Dream is to have it outdoors as well. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay, making sure I got everyone. Looks like I did. Okay, awesome. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was informative. I like to just kind of lean back and everybody can just kind of talk, ask their questions. Just I really like this kind of style. So I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, next week I will be leading the class from El Salvador, and so so we're supposed to have really good Wi-Fi. So fingers crossed. And yeah, and so then I can kind of show you around and things like that. Oh, Terry, yes, I did get the email about the books. And I literally have it in my drafts because I had to take photos of some of the books, and I totally forgot. I'll send that right now. I just have to attach the photos. Yes, but thank you. That's such a sweet offer. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your Monday, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. Please be safe. It's getting crazier and crazier out there. So please. And oh yes, and Holly, I sent you the tree. Yes, I will look it up. I will look back at my notes if I had identified it. It's kind of hard with the image here, but yeah, I'll try to get you the name of that. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and please stay safe. And yeah, I'll see you hopefully next week from Tropical Paradise.
Okay. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.